Yes.
Yes, so here I have 20 participants. So normally this software is recording the participants and showing me the presence. Okay. By the end of the session, so I'll check the presence. So here we have 21 participants. So good morning. I'm sorry for having the sunglasses. This is because I have recently undergone an operation and cannot stay in front of the laptop screen for a long period of time. This is why I put the sunglasses. And this is not the only class that I have today. I have also other courses, and this is why I'm sorry for this. So maybe it is a little bit frustrating.
It's okay. I hope you get well soon.
Thank you very much. Okay, so if you take your booklets and we move to page.
Miss, is this the first lesson in grammar? Because I
No, this
haven't.
is
I
this is
don't
the
know.
third one.
The third.
This is actually the third one. I'm
The third
afraid
one.
that I cannot. Yes, third one,
Oh my
third one.
God.
And we have actually moved to the tutorial session. And I'm afraid lest you won't get the meaning. I'm afraid because I thought the basic concepts. I thought the basic concepts last week, the two previous weeks, and okay, try to follow. And if not, you can of course text messages, or maybe you need to attend with another group because you have missed a lot. Okay, Manar, is she present with us today? Manar Bilgesmi? Manar Bilgesmi, are you present with us today?
Miss,
Yeah.
good morning. Miss, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but some of us are not from the business group. We're from the translation group, so can we attend the lesson with you?
Okay, yeah, you can attend. You can attend the lesson with me, but the
Thank
problem, I'm afraid, lest you do not get the major points, because as I told you, I taught for two sessions, the two previous sessions, and I did with the major concepts. Today I'm going to have practice. You can attend, but I'm not sure whether you get the point or not.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll try to cope with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for the business group, are you here?
Yes, we are.
Yes, yes, we are here.
Okay, do your friends have the link? I don't know, because I think only for this group I have the problem of the link. But for your friends, um, can you check with your friends who attended with you the previous session? Are they here?
They sent the link in the group. I believe they know.
Okay, okay. So let's start. So if you go to your booklet, page
8.
page
Page
8,
8.
and I think here last week we stopped at the level of number 4. Number 4 is not done.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, who wants to read this sentence? Yes, sir. Can you read the sentence? He guessed as well as
I
he could.
can.
Yeah. Yes, please.
He guessed as well as he could, and crawled along for a good way, till suddenly his hand met what felt like a tiny ring of cold metal lying on the floor of the tunnel.
Okay. So before identifying the type of the sentence, let's first of all identify the number of clauses. Can you tell me about the first clause? Okay. How to identify clauses? In order to identify
Uh,
clauses, you need to
I think
identify verbs.
I think
Usually, yes, sorry.
I think to identify the clause, we need to see how many verbs.
Okay, usually I said usually because we have verbless clauses that we are going to see in the second term. But usually, in order to usually I say usually not always. Usually, in order to identify clauses, we need to identify verbs. So this rule applies with the exception of verbless clauses. So the first clause,
I believe it's
He guessed.
he
he
guessed
guessed.
as he
Excellent.
guessed.
So we can say he guessed and stop here. Is the meaning complete?
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes, the meaning is complete. Even if you check the dictionary, you will find that the verb
Yes, I
to
believe
can
yes.
be used, I guess, the verb to guess can be used on its own. Even if you check the
Yes.
dictionary, you can find that the verb to guess can be used on its own. So we can say he guessed. He guessed. How?
This is an
As well
independent
as he could.
clause.
Sorry?
It is an independent clause.
Yes, excellent. So he guessed this is independent. This is independent. An independent clause. Thank you. He guessed this is an independent clause. So I can say he guessed and stop. The meaning is complete. And even if you check the dictionary, we can see that the verb to guess can stand on its own. That is to say, it's not followed by any complements. Okay? So he guessed this is independent. As well as he could, this is,
Another.
yes, this is another clause. And you see, what is the verb here?
He guessed. Guessed. The verb is guessed.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
so this is the first clause. So he guessed, this is the first clause, and it's over. It's okay. We have said that the he guessed is the first clause, and it is independent. Let's move to the second clause.
There is model.
Yes, second clause you have said as well as he
As
could.
he could.
So the second clause, as well as he could. So normally the original, what is the verb here?
There is no verb. There is only a model.
Modal auxiliary. So normally the original verb, original structure, as well as he could guess. Guess here is removed in order to avoid repetition. And you can see here we have a literary style. The sentence is taken from a literary text. So here, in order to avoid repetition, instead of saying he guessed as well as he could guess, we remove guess. So as well as he could, and guess is understood. So in this clause, you have an element which is removed. So this second clause, as well as he could, and guess is understood, here it is removed. So as well as he could, what do you have?
Dependent.
Dependent or independent?
Dependent.
Dependent.
Dependent because it starts with as well as well as. Okay? So it is a dependent clause. Then
And crawled along
please
for
circle and. So what did we say last week for and?
Conjunction.
What and? Sorry?
conjunction.
It's a coordinating conjunction.
Conjunction.
Linker.
Yes, and is a coordinating conjunction. Thank you. And is a coordinating conjunction. And we use and in order to relate to
Clauses.
independent clauses. This is what we said last week. So we use and in order to relate to independent clauses. Okay. And crawled along for a long way. So dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent because we have
Independent.
the
Yes,
conjunction.
independent. Independent. Why justification? Because and here is the coordinator. So I repeat, last week I dictated these three coordinators. So in English we have three coordinators: and, or, but. And or but. And or but are used in order to relate independent clauses. So coordinators and or but. Are you taking notes?
Yes.
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 It's
Can you
already
repeat
So
it?
here we have and, so both of them are independent. Then next clause. Next clause. Can any one of you identify next clause? Please,
There is a
Arya.
comma. Till suddenly his hand met.
Yeah. It's dependent.
Yes,
Dependent.
thank you. It is dependent. Why? Because we have a clause which is started or which is introduced by the word till.
Till.
a clause which is introduced by the word till. So circle till. So normally till or until. Till or until they introduce dependent clauses. Till suddenly, where does it end? This dependent clause. Where does it end? Till suddenly,
Dual.
till suddenly, his hand,
Met.
and stop there. Met what?
What felt.
Sorry? What felt like a tiny ring of cold metal lying on the floor of the tunnel. Shall we continue to the end?
Yes.
Do you remember the example of last week? I saw the student or the woman with a red dress, or the woman that has a red dress. Can I say I saw the woman and stop? No, I cannot. I need to continue.
No.
So let's finish this one. Coordinators and or and but. Here we have list of coordinators. So here is suddenly
Till and until.
I'm going to come to this point because they are not coordinators. I'm going to come to this.
His
What
hand
are they
Suddenly,
called?
his hand met. Can we stop at this level? His hand met what? Is the meaning complete?
No, it's
No,
not
the
complete.
meaning is not complete. So I need to
Pronunciation
continue.
verb.
Met what? You do remember the direct object? So we saw last week. So met what? So here I need the what? Met what? What felt
Objective. We need
like
objective.
a tiny ring of cold metal? Can we stop at the level of metal? Remember the example in Arabic. الولد الذي يرتدي مداة زرقاء. رأيت الولد الذي يرتدي مداة زرقاء. Can I stop at the level of رأيت الولد and
No.
leave?
Yes,
No.
yes.
How
She
is
saw
that?
the
The
boy.
meaning is not complete. Which
رأيت الولد.
boy? So if you say رأيت الولد, which boy have you seen? So I need to continue. رأيت الولد يرتدي مداة زرقاء. So I need to continue in
Yes.
order to get the whole meaning. So can I stop at the level of metal? No, I need to continue. Which metal? I need to describe. This is a description. Lying on the floor of the tunnel. And so here, the whole clause. Suddenly his hand met what felt like till the end. The whole is a clause. Is it dependent or independent?
Dependent.
It is introduced with the word till or until. If you find the word till or until at the beginning of the clause is dependent. If you find words like till or until at the beginning of the clause is dependent. Then within this clause, what do we have? We have other verbs. We have other clauses. Can you identify them?
His hand met.
So this is the main verb. So we have said this is the main verb. Okay, what about other verbs?
Lying. Felt.
Okay, please let's identify verbs. So underline met. Underline met. Then next verb.
Felt.
Felt. Then next verb.
Lying.
Lying. Thank you. So we have three verbs, normally corresponding to three clauses. Yes or no? So three verbs corresponding to three clauses. So here we have identified the first clause. The first clause, till suddenly, his hand till the end. This is first clause corresponding to the first verb. Yes or no?
Yes.
What about the second clause corresponding to second verb?
Felt a
Where is
tiny ring.
What felt? Thank you. Can you continue? What felt?
Like tiny ring of cold metal.
Can we stop at this level of metal? Which metal? You need to continue.
Is
lying on the floor of the
Lying
tunnel.
on the floor of the tunnel. So thank you. So what felt like a tiny ring of cold metal lying on the floor of the tunnel? So this is dependent or independent. It starts with what? Yes,
Dependent starts with
what? So circle what? It starts with what? So it is dependent. So I told you when you find coordinators like and or but. So here these are coordinators and they relate in the independent clauses. Okay, clauses. We relate independent clauses. Okay. Then next clause, the last one corresponding to the last verb. Which one?
Cold metal lying on the floor of the
What is
tunnel.
the last verb? The last verb.
Lying.
Lying. So the last
Lying.
clause, lying on the floor of the tunnel. Lying on the floor of the tunnel. This is the last clause. Miss, if you say cold metal lying on the floor of the tunnel, this is no longer a clause. This is a noun, a phrase, and we are going to see this in the next lecture. Okay, this is a noun, a phrase, and we are going to see this in the next lecture. So here, if you say cold metal lying on the floor of the tunnel, so the most important word, the head, is metal. It cannot be removed, and lying on the floor of the tunnel, this is a description. So in this case, you are identifying a noun, a phrase, and not a clause. I don't know whether the point is clear or not.
Yes.
It is. It is.
Yes, so if you say cold metal lying on the floor of the tunnel, if you say, can you see the word document? Can you see the word document?
Yes.
Yeah.
Document.
Yes,
Okay, thank
yes.
you. So cold metal, if you say cold metal lying on the most important element is metal. And this is a noun, therefore we have a noun phrase. But if we are going to identify clauses, this clause lying. So on its own, we have lying on the floor of the tunnel. This is a clause. Is it dependent or independent? What's the meaning of dependent? Dependent, it cannot stand on its own. It is related to another clause. So can it stand on its own?
No.
No. No, it
No.
cannot.
So here it is
Dependent.
dependent. Thank you. So if we go back and we see, we have independent, dependent, independent. So we have 2 independent clauses and 3 dependent clauses. So what do you think here?
I think
Compound.
it's compound complex.
Complex, I think.
Compound complex.
I think
Compound.
compound complex.
Yes, thank you. So here it is a compound complex. It is a compound complex sentence. Thank you. Because you have 2 independent and 1 depend. Sorry, you have 2 independent and 3 dependent clauses. So here you have compound complex sentence. Okay, let's continue this remark. So here you have coordinators. Are you following?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some students have just mentioned the words so. Yet. So no. No. I think
Yes.
in this one of you has mentioned so. So for so. So,
Yes.
yet, nor,
Since.
however, therefore, they are called conjuncts. They are called conjuncts, and they are also used in order to relate independent clauses. Independent clauses. And then you have subordinators. The last class is that of subordinators. You have 4. You have so that. You have if. You have because, and they are used to. They initiate. They introduce subordinate clauses. I'm sorry.
Subordinate. Dependent or independent?
No, dependent.
Okay.
Dependent or subordinate. They refer to the same thing. You may find the term subordinate in the exam. So they refer to the same thing. Okay. So I think you will find here the summary. It helps you to identify dependent versus independent clauses. So here for coordinators and or but, we said this last week. So they are used in order to relate independent clauses. And then we have conjuncts, yet, so, nor, however, therefore. They are also used in order to relate independent clauses, but subordinators like for, so that, if, because. They introduce, if you want, introduce dependent or subordinate clauses. Here they link, and here they link independent clauses. Okay, do you have any questions for this?
No.
No, thank you.
Any questions? So here, coordinators and conjuncts, they relate or they link, they join independent clauses. And for subordinators like for, if, because, they relate dependent or they introduce dependent or subordinate clauses. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions for this comment? Any questions? Any questions for these notes?
No.
No.
No,
Okay,
thank
let's
you.
move. Please, let's do as many activities as possible because I need to move to second hour for the next tutorial. Okay, I did it because I was asked to. How many verbs we have?
2.
2.
Two verbs.
We have two verbs. Two verbs have did and was asked to. So the first clause,
Is independent.
I did it.
yes, which is, can you identify? Let's
I
identify
did it.
first. I did it. It is independent because it can stand on its own. So I can say I did it and the meaning is there. Because I was asked to,
Dependent.
Independent. Dependent.
Yes, it is
can you say
dependent.
because
No.
I was asked to? Stop.
Dependent. Asked.
We have a
Was asked.
subordinator because.
Yes,
Dependent.
please, yes, thank you. So please circle because. So circle because, and you can see here in front of you in the notes that I have just written. So because is subordinated and it is used in order to introduce a subordinate or a dependent clause. Okay? So here you have because, so circle because. So it is used in order to introduce a subordinate clause.
Miss, is
Yes,
it
so
a
here,
sentence?
sorry?
Is it a complex sentence?
Yes, I'm going to say this in a few minutes. So here we have one independent clause and one dependent clause. Yes, thank you. So here we have
A
a
complex.
complex sentence. Thank you. So here we have a complex sentence. Next one, Tom was never there, but his sister was. So here we have was, first was, and second was. So here we have two verbs. Therefore, we have
We
how
have
many
but.
clauses?
Two clauses.
Two
We
clauses.
have two
Two
clauses.
clauses.
What do you have? You have but, circle but. And you have in the notes in front of you. But is used in order to relate to
Independent clauses.
Independent sentence. Clauses.
It is used in order to relate to independent clauses. Thank you. It is used in order to relate to independent clauses. So what do you have? First clause.
Complex sentence. First clause.
Clause.
Tom
No.
was never there.
Tom was never there. First independent clause. But his sister was another independent clause. So what type of
Independent clauses.
sentence? Yes, two
Compound.
independent clauses.
Compound.
So this is a compound sentence. Thank you. Compound sentence. Let's move to number 7. My parents live a happy life in the country. My parents live a happy life in the country. So how many verbs?
1.
One
One.
verb.
Lives
One.
one.
Yes, how many clauses? Just one. Dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent.
So last week I told you if you find just one clause, it must be independent. Otherwise, the sentence is ungrammatical. So if you
Simple.
find just one clause, it is independent.
Simple.
Yes, it is simple. Thank you, because we have just one clause, which is independent. We have to go to bed when the clock chimes 10 o'clock. How many verbs?
Go.
2. Chimes
We have
and
to go.
have.
How many verbs? 2 or 3?
Two.
Two.
3.
3. When the clock chimes.
Okay.
We
Look.
have to go.
We have to go. We have to go. Look, have to.
We have
Similar
to.
to must. Okay, I'm going to explain. Please listen. Have to is similar to must. So instead of saying we have to go, we must go.
We must go.
So it is an auxiliary. It is a semi-modal. It is similar to
Model.
must. Yes. So normally if you find we must go, will you consider must as a verb and go as another verb?
No.
No. So
No.
normally they form the same verb phrase. So normally we have to go to bed. So normally this is one clause made up of just one verb. So here we can simply replace it by must. We must go to bed. We should go to bed. So here, this is a modal auxiliary. Yes or no?
Yes.
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 So here we have to go to bed. This is the first clause. Is it dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent.
Dependent.
So can we say we have to go to bed and stop?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sentence grammatical.
We have to. We must identify.
We must say why we have to go to bed.
No, no, look. Look, if I say, you are a listener, if I say we have to go to bed and stop, is the meaning clear? Is the sentence complete?
I think it's
We have
clear.
to go to bed or we have to go to bed. Is the sentence grammatical?
Yeah.
The sentence is grammatical.
Yeah.
The meaning is there. So
It's
here
missing.
it is independent. So the meaning is there. It is grammatical. So were you absent the previous sessions?
I wasn't.
I
Yes,
wasn't.
were you? Wasn't? Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to further explain. So here, look, miss. If I say we have to go to bed, is the sentence grammatical? Can you say yes or no?
Yes, it's
Yes, the
grammatical, I
sentence is
think.
grammatical and the meaning is complete. When I say we have to go to bed or I must go to bed, the meaning is there. But when I say when the clock chimes 10 o'clock, is the sentence grammatical? Can you say when the clock
No.
chimes 10 o'clock and stop?
No.
No. Why? Because you cannot start an
With when?
independent clause with
When.
when. So here the sentence is ungrammatical. When you say when the clock chimes 10 o'clock, the sentence is ungrammatical because here I have the word when. So here is it dependent or independent?
Independent.
Dependent.
Dependent, the second
Look,
one.
look, listen carefully. What's the meaning of independent? Independent, it can stand on its own. الاسم على جسمها independent حرة وحدها. Dependent, it relies on another clause. It cannot stand on its own. So here if I say when the clock chimes 10 o'clock, you have said it cannot be used on its own. So here, is it dependent or independent? It cannot stand. It cannot be on its own. So here it relies on another
It's
clause.
dependent.
So here it is dependent. Thank you. So here we have to go to bed. This is independent. You can circle when. Please circle when. So when you find when, this is an indication that we have a dependent clause.
Complex sentence.
Yes, excellent. This is a complex sentence. So circle when. This is a complex sentence. So we have to go to bed independent when the clock chimes 10 o'clock. This is dependent. Then the soldiers brutally attacked the dog that barked to them. Let's identify verbs very quickly. First verb, please quickly.
Attack. Attack.
Attack the dog
Verb,
that
bark.
barked.
Okay, let's identify the first clause in which we find the first verb,
We
attack.
have subordinator.
The
Sorry?
soldier
The soldiers.
brutally attacked.
Attack the dog.
Okay, can we say the soldiers brutally attacked and stopped?
No.
Attacked
No.
what? Attacked
The
what?
dog.
I need to continue, yes?
Attacked what? The
Attacked.
dog.
The
The dog,
dog.
can I stop at the level of the dog?
Yes.
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 It's independent.
Okay, we have agreed that it is independent, but let's identify the boundary of the clause. Where does it start and where does it end? So if you go back and you remember this example, cold metal, can we stop at the level of cold metal? No, I need to further describe lying on, etc. So if I remind you of the example, رأيت الولد الذي يرتدي مدعة زرقاء. الذي يرتدي مدعة زرقاء is a description of the word الولد. So here we cannot separate them from each other when we identify the first clause. So first clause, رأيت الولد الذي يرتدي مدعة زرقاء, the whole is a clause. And within this clause, included in it, we find الذي يرتدي مدعة زرقاء is another clause. So if we are going to identify the first clause, the soldiers brutally attacked. Can we stop at this level?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
We need to identify attacked what? Attack the dog. Yes,
Yes.
the dog. Can we stop at this level?
Yes.
No,
But here,
which dog?
if you are going to stop at this level, you are going to remove the specification of the word dog. Which dog? You need to specify which one. So
That barked him.
not all the dogs, but the one that barked to them. So here the whole is a clause. The soldiers brutally attacked the dog that barked to them. The whole is an independent clause.
Miss, but we say that there are two verbs.
Okay, I'm going to explain this in Arabic for the last time. شوفوا اسمعوني. هما فما two verbs. ايش معناها two verbs؟ معناها فما two clauses هكا ولا
Right.
Yes.
two verbs معناها فما two clauses. الكلوز الاولى باش نحددوها، الكلوز الاولى في وسطها الكلوز الثانيه، ما نجموش نحيو منها. نقول انا شفت الكلب هذا اللي ينبح عليهم، دونك هذيك the dog that barked to them تبعت لها تبع للكلوز الاولى، ومن بعد في وسطها باش نلقاو that barked to them. دونك انا بالطبيعه there are two clauses, we have two verbs, so here we have two clauses. So if I say they attacked, are you following?
Yes.
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 Dog that barked to them. So this is the first clause. Second one, that barked to them. Here we have two clauses. الأولانية they attacked the dog. Which one? That barked to them. كما قلت رأيت الولد ما نجموش نقفوا الذي يرتدي بدعة زرقاء. The whole is a clause. ما نجموش نقسموها مش كما وين مش like the previous sentence. شوف the previous sentence we have to go to bed on its own when the clock chimes to 10 o'clock on its own. But here, that bark to them is a description of the word dog. We cannot separate dog from its post modifier. If you remember what we saw last week, we cannot separate the word dog from its post modifier. إذا كان نشوف هذه كلها noun phrase. The dog that barked to them, this is a noun phrase. The head is dog. That barked to them is a post modifier of the word dog. معناها أنت كي مش تقسمها هذه إحنا المرة اللي فاتت قريناها. The dog that barked to them هذه تكون. If you remember last week, determinative plus head noun plus
Post modifier.
لكن أنت مش نحيها هذه. You're going to remove the post modifier. You cannot. أنت they attacked what? They attacked the dog that barked to them. The whole is a clause. Within that clause, you have another clause which is dependent that barked to them. Do you get the point?
Yes. Clear.
What about the others? Please, you can
Yes.
write in the chat
Yes.
box if you are a little bit shy. You can write in the chat box. It's not clear. I'm following.
It is clear. It is clear.
Okay. So here you cannot move that back to them. This is a post modifier. This is a post modifier of the word dog. It is part of the structure of this noun phrase. You see, this is a noun phrase. This is a noun phrase. So this post modifier that back to them is part of this post modifier. So this is post modifier part of this noun phrase. It cannot be removed. Within this clause, this is independent. So the whole is independent clause. Within this independent clause, we have another one which is dependent. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Please, for the others, if it's not clear, please, you have to ask for more clarification. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
What about the others? You can still write in the chat box. Okay, it's not clear. Okay, for some of you. Okay, I'm going to re-explain for the last time. So how do we identify clauses? In order to identify clauses, we need to identify verbs. Donc, احنا هنا عندنا two verbs. We have two verbs. You have attacked and you have barked. You have attacked and you have barked. I think for the second clause here, it's clear. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
And it is dependent. Why? Because it starts with the word that. If you find a clause that starts with the word that, if you find a clause that starts with the word which, if you find a clause that starts with the word when, it is dependent. So please take notes. If you find clauses that start with the word that, which, who, when they are dependent clauses. I think it's clear for the second clause. Yes or no? The problem here with the first clause. Donc, the first clause, you have the verb attack. This is the main verb. Okay, where shall we stop? We shall stop where the meaning is clear. They attacked what? We need to continue. They attacked the dog. I need to specify the dog. So I cannot say they attacked and stop. They attacked what? They attacked the dog. I need to continue. Donc أنا هون في بالي البروبليم تاعكم in the identification of the clause. Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Donc they attacked the dog. Donc here the second clause is clear. I don't need to focus on it. They attacked what? ما تنجمش تقف at the level of attack. شنو هو؟ They attacked what? لازم تقول the dog. The dog تنجمش تقول the dog. أما dog. Which one? The dog that barked to them. هوني the dog that barked to them
The two clauses share the same word.
Sorry? The two clauses?
Share the same word.
I can't tell the same word. I can't get your point. What do you mean?
The two clauses
are
sharing the same word, which is the dog.
Yes.
In the second clause, it is the head, and the other clause, it is needed. Yet it's not the head, but it is needed.
Okay, look, شوف هونية هذه the dog that barked to them. قاعدين تتبعوا فيها the dog that barked to them. هذه راهي noun phrase ماهيش clause. هذه noun phrase. عندنا determinative the dog هو الhead most important element that barked to them is a post modifier of the word dog. معناها هونية that barked to them استحقيناها باش نعملوا description تاع الدوغ. كما قلت رأيت الولد ما نجمش نقول أما ولد أما هو أما كلب منهم. لو أنت كما تقول the dog and stop المعنى مش واضح. أما هو كلب. لازمك you need to specify that back to them. donc هذه الكلها is the first clause. هذه الكلها is the first clause. you need to continue. ومن بعد احنا من هذه في وسطها هذه noun phrase نلقاو هذا البوست modifier. هذه البوست modifier includes another verb which is barked. So it includes another verb which is barked. So here we take it as a whole and we extract this clause. So it is dependent and it is that clause. If you see the difference, the first one, this is a noun phrase. Second one, that clause. So the first one, this is noun phrase. Second one, this is that clause. You see the difference? Donc هي déjà partie تابعة للدog, so it is a post modifier of the head dog. So it is not a clause on its own, it is a description of the word dog. So it is part of the word dog, part of this clause. Then we need to identify it as a clause. As a clause, that clause we extracted as it is without dog. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Amel Amri, is it clear? Yes or no? Amel? Okay, thank you. دونك انتم ما تحبوا تفهموها هذه بالطريقه هذه كي تلقاو relative clause which or who has a white dress or who has a red dress. So normally you cannot stop at this level. You need to continue. You need to specify which dog. So here that back to them a description of the word dog. So you need to continue. So here we have two clauses. The first one please.
The soldier brutally attacked the dog.
The second that
the whole clause.
That back to them. Thank you. That back to them. This is independent. Donc قلنا that back to them is a description of the word dog. Which dog? The one that back to them. So we need to continue the description. The whole is independent. That back to them. This is
dependent. Complex sentence.
Yes, this is a complex sentence. Okay, let's do number 10 and 11. Okay, has anyone told the police the men who escaped were carrying guns? So the first one.
Has anyone told the police?
Escaped.
Told the
Second
police.
verb escaped. The third verb were carrying. So here we have three clauses. First clause. Can you identify the third clause?
The whole sentence.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Has anyone told the police?
Okay, if you say
That's
has
the
anyone
first.
told the police? Has told the
The
police what? Okay,
About
has anyone told the police what? So
The
you
man
need the
who
what?
is
I
this
told you that
uh,
Mary is absent. I told you what? I told someone what? So I told the police what? Okay,
that's the
where shall
man
I
who
stop?
escaped.
That the men who escaped were carrying guns. Thank you. So what is the first clause?
the whole sentence?
I
The
think the
whole
whole
sentence. Thank
sentence.
you.
The whole sentence.
The whole sentence. Has anyone told the police what? That the man who escaped. So that here is understood. You can write that for you. The police
Yes.
that the men who escaped were carrying guns. So here, dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent.
Independent, because it can stand on its own. Then
Simple.
yes, next clause, please. Next clause. No, we are identifying clauses. So the
We're
first
Dependent.
on
clause,
who escaped? Who escaped?
The men
No,
who
before
escaped.
that. Before.
The men who
The
escaped
man
were
who escaped.
carrying guns.
Is it dependent?
okay, look. Yes. I have two answers, please. The last answer. Next clause, please.
The man who escaped?
And we stop at this level. Men who
Yes.
escaped.
Carrying guns.
Please. What about the others? What do you think? Where shall we stop? That the men who escaped
Were carrying guns.
We're carrying guns.
were carrying guns. Thank you. That the men who escaped. So that here is understood. It is removed. I told. Okay, look, the original sentence. I told the police that the men who escaped were carrying guns. This is the original sentence. So that the men who escaped were carrying guns. This is a clause.
Yeah, were carrying guns is another clause.
I don't know whether you get the point or not, because I can't see your faces. I told the police, the men. So that here is optional. So that's the men who escaped were carrying guns. Okay, so we start here. That the men who escaped were carrying guns. So that can we stop here? That the men who escaped and stop.
No.
What
No.
did they do? What did they do? They were
Yeah.
carrying guns. So that the men who escaped, yes. What did they do? Were carrying guns. So this is a clause. Dependent or independent?
Independent.
Look, it is introduced
That.
to the word that. Whenever you find the word that, the sentence or the clause is dependent.
Well, we
The
don't
clause
have
is
that.
dependent. Sorry?
We don't actually have that.
That is understood. It is removed. Normally, the
It is
original
not.
sentence, I told, has you told the police that the man. You try to include that. Can you include it here?
Yes.
Yes, it
Yes.
can be included. Since
That's the
it can
man
be
who escaped.
included, so here it is there. It is just removed. And we are going to see in the next lecture cases where we can remove that. So here it is there. It is just removed in order to make the sentence shorter. So has anyone told the police? Can we include that? Can we say that?
Yes.
That the
Yes.
men who escaped were carrying guns. Can we say that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, so you can include that. So here normally this clause is introduced with that. Whenever you find that clause, so that clause is
Dependent.
dependent. That clause is dependent. So that the men were escaped. We cannot stop at this level. We need to continue. The men who escaped were carrying guns. What did they do? Were carrying guns. Okay, the last clause. So here we have first clause. Has anyone told the police till the end? That the men who escaped were carrying guns, or the men who escaped were carrying guns. This is another clause, because here you don't have that. And then the last clause.
We're carrying guns.
Carrying guns.
What is the main verb here? The men who escaped were carrying guns.
We're carrying. Who
اعطيني
escaped.
بربي شفتوها هذه انا سطرتها. What is underlined, please?
Yes.
Can you remove some elements of this subject and just leave just one word?
Who escaped? can be removed.
Can you say who escaped were carrying guns?
Yes, can
No,
be
no.
removed.
Men who were carrying guns.
Well,
Please remove all the unnecessary words and just keep one word.
we're carrying guns.
Can we say we're carrying guns? Is the sentence complete?
Oh, the men. The men.
The men
You can simply say men
were carrying guns.
carrying guns. So what is the main verb here? The verb here, carrying. So the verb that we identified in this clause is carrying. And who escaped is what? Is the post modifier of the word men. It is the post modifier of the word men. Are you following?
No.
Yes. Are you following, please?
Yes.
No, 10.
I can't find the form.
Micro,
Anyway,
Sam.
so it is a description of. It's a description. Sorry. I can't really make it anyway. So who escaped is a description of the word men. So what is the main verb that we identified here? Carrying or escaped?
Carrying.
Carrying, because escaped is removed. Look.
Sam, قص الميكرو.
Who here is what here? This is what? This is a subject. This is a verb. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
The man who escaped, this is a subject. We're carrying guns. This is the rest. This is the predicate. Yes or no?
The verb.
Yes.
Yes. So what is the other clause included here in this clause?
Who escaped?
Who escaped? Excellent. Who escaped? So who escaped is another clause. So who escaped is another clause. So if you are confused, if you find many words, you try to identify the subject and predicate. Predicate that is to say the verb and other elements. What is the subject? The men who escaped. Yes, what did they do? They were carrying guns. So the men who escaped, this is the subject, and this is the verb that we have identified in this clause. So who escaped, this is what? This is post modifier of the word men. In this case, it is another clause. Okay, I think we have many ideas here, so let's come back. So let's come back to the example. Has anyone told the police? The men who escaped were carrying guns. Are you following?
Yes.
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 Okay. Has anyone told the police the men who escaped were carrying guns? So this is the main clause corresponding to the verb has told. So here we have said we have three verbs corresponding to three clauses. So the first verb has told. So has told, first clause, has anyone told the police what? That the men who escaped were carrying guns. So the first clause, and it said it is independent. Second clause, corresponding to the verb were carrying guns. Let's just say we find the verb were carrying guns the most important. Where is the clause where we find the verb were carrying guns?
The men who escaped.
The men who
The men who
escaped
were carrying guns.
Excellent. So that the men who escaped were carrying guns. So that the men who escaped. So that the men who escaped were carrying guns. So this is a clause. This is dependent. And within this dependent clause, we have another dependent one, which is who escaped. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Which is independent. No?
Arish, which one? Why is it a noun phrase, not a clause? And Osema, I can't get your point. Sorry for what? I can't get. Osema, I can't get your point. So for Arish, it's a noun phrase. Why is a noun phrase? We have said that the noun we need, in order to identify the type of the phrase, we need to look at the most important element. So I'm addressing this to Arish. Please, are you following Arish?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was talking about the previous sentence.
Which one? That back to them?
Yes,
The dog that
when
barked
you,
at them? Okay. Can you, if you consider this, the dog that back to them, can you remove elements? I keep just one. They attacked what? Can you remove? You see this structure which is highlighted? You try to remove words and just keep one. Just keep one word from this. Can we say they attacked that back to them? No.
No.
Can you say they attacked the?
No, we can't. But I'm talking about
dogs. Can you say they attacked dogs?
no, we can't.
Why not? It's a grammatical. Can we say they attacked dogs? And the meaning is there. We can say they attacked dogs. It is grammatical and the meaning is there. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So dog here is the most important element and it is the head. I told you the head last week, the head of a noun phrase is a noun. So if it is a noun, so we'll have a noun phrase. The head is the most important element. You have said the dog is the most important element. So the head is a noun, therefore we have a noun phrase. The head is a preposition, therefore we have prepositional phrase. The head is an adverb, therefore we have an adverb phrase. The head is an adjective, therefore we have an adjective phrase. So here dog is the head, is a noun, therefore we have a noun phrase. Thank you. Is it clear now?
Yes.
So if you find a structure and you don't know which element is the most important, you are going to reduce till you find the most important element, the element that cannot be removed. You identify its word class, it's a noun, therefore it's a noun phrase, it's an adjective, therefore we have an adjective phrase, it's an adverb, therefore we have an adverb phrase. Thank you. What about Osama? I can't get. Oh, okay, Osama. So is it clear for the last point who escaped?
Yes.
What about the others?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
I can't find anything in the chat box. So is it okay? Shall we move to the next point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The actor was nervous before he auditioned. Then you have the semicolon. You see the semicolon? Semicolon point virgule. The semicolon is used to relate independent
It's here.
clauses. Sorry?
Yeah.
Semicolon. Look, this is the semicolon. Look, this is a semicolon, point virgule, semicolon. So it is used in order to relate independent clauses. So how many? Let's underline verbs. First verb was. Then you have auditioned. Then you have felt. Then you have did well. Okay, before moving for sentence number 10, did we identify the type? So here we have one independent and two dependent clauses. Therefore, what type of sentence do we have?
Complex.
For number 10, please.
Complex.
We have one independent.
Complex.
It is a complex sentence. Yes, if you have one independent and two or more and one or more dependent clauses, so here it is a complex sentence. So here you have one independent and more than one dependent, so here it is a complex sentence. Then the actor you have was nervous. Okay, let's identify the first clause in which we find the first verb. First clause.
The actor was nervous.
Excellent. The actor was nervous. Excellent. Thank you. Dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent. Excellent, because it can stand on its own. Next clause in which we find the verb auditioned.
Before he auditioned.
Before he auditioned. Please circle before.
It's dependent, the clause.
Yes, dependent, because here it is introduced with the word before.
Before.
So here it is dependent. Then, if you move to the second
he
one.
felt that he did well, though.
So underline the semicolon or circle the semicolon. Semicolon is used to relate independent clauses. Yes?
Yes.
He felt that he did well, though. He felt. Can we stop at the level of felt? He felt.
No.
No.
He felt
Nah.
what? He felt what? He felt what? That he did well. So he felt that he did well. Yes, dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent.
Independent. And though here is used as an adverb and not as a conjunction. Though here is used as an adverb. And you see here it is put at the end. You have a comma, though. So here it is used as an adverb. Not as a subordinating conjunction, not as a subordinator. So here it is used as an adverb. Look, although he is ill,
A complex.
comes to the faculty or to the etc. What do you think here? Although he is ill.
It's not an adverb.
Yes. So here, although he is ill, this is a dependent clause. Dependent clause. And here, although here is a subordinator. You see, although he is ill, subordinator plus. Please talking, please. So here you see, subordinator is followed by a clause. Therefore, we have a dependent clause. But here in the example, what do you see? Though is put at the end of the sentence. So
Yes,
here, this is an
yes.
adverb. Is it followed by anything, by any words? No.
No.
The example
No.
that you have, number 11. Though, is it followed by anything in the example
No.
that you have? No. So it is preceded by a comma, then you have though, and then a full stop. So here, is it a dependent or independent clause? Dependent or independent?
Independent.
Dependent maybe.
Dependent.
Dependent.
بربي
Dependent.
شغلها آخر مرة وقتاش تكون dependent؟ though تلقى بعدها حاجة أخرى clause. Do we have something after though?
No, it's full
No.
stop.
No. No, so we have nothing. So here, though here is an adverb. And what do we have at the beginning of this clause? We have a semicolon.
Colon.
We have a semicolon. So here we have a semicolon. So a semicolon is used in order to relate independent. I repeat, independent clauses. A semicolon is used to relate independent clauses. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So here we have a semicolon before this clause. So this clause is dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent.
Independent, thank you. Independent, why? Because you have a semicolon before it, and though here is an adverb. Though is an adverb is not followed by anything. So if you go back to the example that we have here, although he is ill, in the example that we have here, although is followed by a clause, and therefore it is a subordinator, and we have a dependent clause. But if you go back to this example, though here is not followed by anything, so here it is an adverb. Okay?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's move. Then we have another verb. He did well. Yes, can you identify the clause in which we have the last verb?
Yes. He felt that he did well.
So this is independent. We have said this. Look, we have two verbs, felt and did. You have two verbs, felt and did. So we have two clauses. So the first clause we have said he felt that he did well, though. So this is independent. Then what do we have? Second clause.
Before he
Second.
addition.
Manel Furti, which example do you want?
Miss, thank you. You already answered. No, you already answered.
Okay, for the last, please, can you tell me he felt that he did well? He felt that he did well.
That he did well.
So here we have
And
two words,
independent
two
clause.
clauses. So first clause, let me stop. So for the first verb, you have felt.
He
Let me stop at
felt.
the level of felt. He felt what? What? I need to continue that he did
Well.
So this is the first clause. Go. Second clause, second verb.
Did
Second clause,
well.
second verb. Yes?
Did.
Did, only did. Can we start with did? Did the clause is the meaning is complete?
He did
He
well.
did well.
That he did well. Do you remember that clause?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That he did well, though.
Did well. So here is it is dependent.
Mhm.
So here we have two independent clauses and two dependent clauses. Therefore, what type of sentence?
Compound complex.
Compound complex. Thank you. Let's move very quickly. Vanessa's sister is a computer programmer. She translates information into symbols that the computer reads. What is the first clause corresponding to the first verb?
Vanessa's sister is a computer programmer.
Excellent. Vanessa's sister is a computer programmer. Is it independent or dependent?
Independent.
Independent.
Independent, simple sentence.
Independent. So can you say simply Vanessa's sister is a computer programmer and stop?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So the meaning is complete. It is there. So here it is independent. Then she translates information into symbols that the computer reads. We have two verbs.
Independent.
Yes.
Independent.
Independent. Why? Because you have
A comma. A semicolon.
semicolon. Excellent.
Between the two clauses.
You have a semicolon. You see the semicolon? You see the semicolon? So we have said semicolon is used to relate to independent clauses. So here, she translates information into symbols. Can we stop there?
Yes.
Can we say into symbols and stop?
No.
What do you
No,
think?
what?
Yes. Into maybe into symbol.
The computer reads.
It is similar to this example. Can we say the dog and stop at the level of dog? No, we
Yes.
cannot.
That worked.
Can we say the dog and stop? Which dog that barked to them? Which symbols?
Yes.
All
that
symbols?
computer
No.
reads.
Only the ones that the computer reads.
Yes.
So that the computer reads here is a post modifier of the word symbol. You cannot separate that the computer reads from symbols. It's like the example in Arabic. رأيت الولد الذي يرتدي مدعة زرقاء. If you say رأيت الولد, can you identify the boy? No. You need to further provide a description. الولد الذي يرتدي مدعة زرقاء. So you need the whole description of it. الذي يرتدي مدعة زرقاء is a post modifier of the word الولد. Is it clear?
Yes.
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 Yes, it's similar to this example that bark to them. That the computer reads. So it's a description of the word symbols. So the whole, she translates information into symbols that the computer reads. The whole is a clause. Is it dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent.
Independent. Why? Because at the beginning of the clause you have she translates. At the beginning of the clause you have she translates. You see that you have a semicolon, and here therefore it must be independent. Then the last clause, the last verb, reads. Can you identify
Reads. That
Yes.
the
That
computer
the
reads.
computer reads.
Excellent. That the computer reads. Excellent. That the computer reads. It is introduced with the word that. Is it dependent or independent?
Dependent.
Dependent.
Dependent. Thank you. So here we have two independent clauses and one dependent. Therefore, what type of sentence?
Compound complex sentence.
Yes, compound complex.
Before
Since the rain has stopped, the game can be resumed. Sorry, our team is ahead. So can you identify the first clause?
Since the rain stopped.
Excellent. Since the rain has stopped, is it dependent or independent?
Dependent.
Dependent.
Dependent, because you cannot simply say that since the rain has stopped. So what happened? So the meaning is not complete. And underline since, underline or circle since. So if you find since at the beginning of the clause, so here we have a dependent clause. If you find since, if you find because, if you find when, if you find that at the beginning of the clause is dependent. Then you have
the game can be resumed.
Can we say the game can be resumed and stop? Is it
Yes.
grammatical?
Yes.
So here, is it dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent. And then our team is ahead. You see the semicolon before our team?
Yes.
Yes.
So here is it
No, it's
dependent or
independent.
independent?
Independent.
Independent, excellent. So we have two independent clauses and one dependent clause. So what type of sentence?
Compound complex.
Compound complex. Then high blood pressure is a serious condition that affects many people, and it should underline and or circle and. It should be treated by a qualified physician. So the first clause, including the first verb is. Can you identify first clause?
High blood pressure is a serious condition.
Can we stop at the level of condition?
Affects many people.
Yes.
No.
It's like similar to the example. I'm going to come back to this example.
Yes, you cannot stop.
The dog that back to them is a post modifier. So determiner plus head plus post modifier. So post modifier. So cannot separate the head from its post modifier. So the whole here is the noun phrase. So that back to them, not that back to them. Sorry. High blood pressure is a serious condition
that affects many people.
That affects many people. Thank you. Excellent. Dependent or independent?
Independent.
Independent. Yes. Then next clause, including the verb affects.
Dependent.
Yes. Which can you identify the clause, please? It is dependent.
That affects many people.
Excellent. That affects many people. It is dependent because it starts with the word that. Then and, underline and or circle and it should be written by a qualified physician.
Independent. Independent.
It's independent. And we have this at the beginning of the session. You see that? And or but are used in order to link independent clauses. So here we have two independent clauses and one dependent. So what type of sentence do we have?
Compound complex.
Compound complex.
Compound complex. Thank you. Okay, move please to activity 3. Are you following activity 3, please, Harriet?
Yes.
Can you read the question? Okay, or maybe in order to save time, I'm going to read the question. So you have a paragraph in front of you, and we are supposed to question, identify the category of the following words. What's the meaning of category? Category, that is to say word class or speech part.
Yes.
So category, that is to say word class or speech part, that is to say whether it's a noun, whether it's a verb, whether it's an adjective, whether it is a determiner, whether it is a preposition, an adjective, an adverb, etc. So in the first session, I gave you the list of all of the categories that you can find in the English language. Okay, so let's read the first sentence. The light struck upon the trees in the garden, making one leaf transparent. Transparent. What do you think? Category.
Adjective.
Adjective. Thank you. Transparent here is adjective. Even if you check the dictionary, okay, the word, the class, or the category, you can find it in a dictionary. So if you open the dictionary and you type the word transparent, you will find that it is an adjective. Then one bird chirped high up.
Verb.
I want you to circle. Look, I want you to circle the ed. Chirped. Please circle the ed. Usually, when do we add the ed? She was.
Simple past.
Sorry? Yes, the past. We add it to verbs, to nouns, to adjectives, to prepositions. Usually we add, yes, thank you. Usually we add the ed to verbs, like work, worked, dance, danced, play, played. So usually we add the ed to verbs. So one bird chirps. So this is what? This is
Simple past.
a verb. This is a verb. So chirped here, this is a verb. Why the justification? We gave an example like this, I think the year before last year. Why is it a verb? It's a verb because you have the ed inflection. You have the ed inflection, and normally the ed inflection attaches to verbs. So I think the year, the year before last year, we asked the students to identify the category and to justify. So this is how to justify, because it has the ed inflection. Third line. And rested like the tip of a fan upon a white blind.
So you have, please circle and circle also white. A white blind. A
It's
white,
now.
look,
Noun.
a white door. An intelligent student. So what do you have? You have determiner, adjective, and then the adjective normally describes what? It's the pre-modifier of what?
And now.
The noun.
Noun. Excellent. So blind here is a noun. Why? Because it has a determiner and determiner
The noun.
and the pre-modifier white. A white blind.
The
So
head.
it comes after the determiner. Yes, blind here. Thank you. Blind is the head of this noun phrase. So here you have a white blind. This is a noun phrase. Is a determiner, and white is an adjective, which is a pre-modifier. Shall I move?
Yes,
Yes or
please.
no?
Yes.
Then you have the blind. Still the blind. The blind. What do you have? The plus blind.
Noun.
Plus
The
blind.
Noun.
The student, the teacher.
blind.
The is usually used
Subject.
with. The is usually used with what?
Nouns.
Subject.
Noun.
Noun.
With nouns. So normally say the student, the teacher, the boy, the class, etc. So normally the is used with nouns. Okay?
Okay.
So blind is a noun because it comes after the determiner the. Then, but all within was dim and unsubstantial. Dim with the class.
Adjective.
Adjective.
Is an adjective. How do you know that it is an adjective?
And
After was.
Not really, because I'll say she was a very nice student, or she was a good teacher. She was a kind person. So here we have a noun phrase. But here the evidence, it is an adjective. The evidence, you see, and please underline and, because it is coordinated with another adjective. So unsubstantial is an adjective, therefore dim should be an adjective. So justification, it is coordinated with another adjective. So usually coordinators are usually used to relate two things of the same class. ما تجيبش and تخليها تجيب لها مثلا أرانب وخطاطس، لا. مثلا clause and clause. Noun phrase and noun phrase. Adjective phrase
parallel.
and adjective phrase. Adverb phrase and adverb phrase. So you see, coordinators are used to relate two things of the same class. Nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, they should be of the same type. So justification here, dim is an adjective because it is coordinated via the coordinator and with another adjective, which is unsubstantial. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the last one, outside. The birds sang their blank melody outside.
Adverb.
Adverb.
Made.
Okay, this is an adverb. Thank you. This is, have I had another answer? So here, this is an adverb. Usually, an adjective cannot stand on its own like this. So an adjective, happy boys, happy friends, nice students, cute students, intelligent students. Usually adjectives in this way cannot stand on its own. They are usually followed by a noun. Cute students, intelligent students. So here the birds sang their blank melody outside. So here this is an adverb, and even if you open the dictionary, you will find that it is an adverb. In some cases, outside can be used as an adjective. I'm going to find an example from Cambridge Dictionary in order to explain the difference.
Miss, if we say outside the house, outside the house,
Here in this case, it is a
adverb.
preposition. Outside the house, this is a preposition.
Okay.
So you see, adverb, adjective, a preposition. You have provided us with an example where it is an adverb. We have an example where it is an adverb. Your friend has provided us with an example where it is a preposition. And let's see, adjective. 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 So you see, an outside chance. Are you following?
Yes.
Yes.
And outside the chance, you see, outside here is written between the determiner and the head noun chance. So in this case, it is no longer an adverb, but it is an adjective. Like a cute student, an intelligent student. So it depends on his position in the sentence. Be careful. في الإكزامان نجيب لكم ساعات نفس الكلمة, the same word in different positions. And each time you need to identify the category. So here, if you go back to your booklet, you see the melody outside. So outside on its own, so here it is an adverb. If here it is between a determiner, you see between a determiner and the word a chance. So here it is an adjective. Between a determiner and the noun, it is an adjective. Do you get this point?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes.
If you find outside the house, outside Baltimore, so here if you find outside Baltimore, please remove the off. So here outside Baltimore, so outside plus a noun phrase, in this case here it is a preposition. Okay? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Clear.
Okay, let's move to the next point. Let's move to activity 4. Is it clear, please, for the point of outside? Because this is very interesting.
Yes.
And this is a very common type of mistake that we usually find in exams. So outside, if it is on its own, it is an adverb. If it is between a determiner and a noun here, it becomes an adjective. If it is before a noun phrase, outside the house, so here it becomes a preposition. Before the house, before the noun phrase. So the house is a noun phrase, and before it you have outside the house, so outside here becomes a preposition. Okay, let's move to activity 4, sorry. Because we don't have enough time, we need to move. Identify the underlined phrases, provide their structures and functions. Most famous people did not enjoy immediate success. So immediate success, this is what?
Noun.
Noun phrase.
Okay, wait. Immediate success. Okay, I want you to have 3 columns. 3 columns. Table, 3 columns. You have type of phrase, structure, and then function. Type of phrase, structure, and then function. Type of phrase, structure, and function. Most people do not enjoy type of phrase. What is the most important element, immediate or success? What is more
Can you
important?
repeat?
Success.
Look, you try to make a table. Look. You try to make a table like you have in the previous activity. You see that? You see that table?
Yes.
So you make the same table, please.
Okay.
For activity 4, you make the same table. So here you have immediate success. Which is more important, immediate or success?
Success.
How do you know that? What is the head? How do you know that? You try to remove.
Success is a noun.
So you can say, yes, thank you. So many famous people did not enjoy success. Many famous people did not enjoy. Many famous people did not enjoy success. So success is there, but immediate is removed. So here, what is the head? The head is success because it cannot be removed. Thank you. Word the class. So success, is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective? What do you think?
Noun.
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 Yes, success is a noun. So what type of phrase do we have?
Noun
A noun
phrase.
phrase.
A noun phrase.
Yes, so success here it is a noun phrase. Noun phrase. Structure. Its structure.
Pre-modifier plus noun.
Yes, excellent. But okay, how to write the structure? I'm going to repeat this for the last time. Structure. So how to write the structure? NP equals pre-modifier. The pre-modifier here, it is an adjective. Plus, we have said the head is success, and it is now. This is how to write the structure. Is it clear?
Yes.
The structure, noun, phrase, pre-modifier, adjective plus head, noun. Okay, let's continue. Then the function. So if I ask, many famous people did not enjoy what? What? If you ask the what question, so this is what? Grammatical function. You ask what?
Objective.
So whenever you ask the what, this is direct object.
Direct object.
Yes. So whenever you ask what question, this is a direct object. So grammatical function, this is a direct object. Do you have any questions?
No.
Any questions?
No.
Any questions? So you
No.
ask the question
No.
what? So many famous people did not enjoy what? Immediate success, the answer, so what? So this is a direct object. Yes. Abraham Lincoln, who was one of the truly great presidents of the United States. Okay, the truly great presidents of the United States. Let's try to reduce. Provide me with just one word. The most important
President.
word here. The most
President.
important word here.
President.
Presidents. Thank you. The most important word is presidents because
It's a
the
noun.
word presidents. Yes, wait a minute. So presidents here cannot be removed. So the word the presidents here cannot be removed. So here it is the most important element. So here you can say presidents.
head.
Great
It is
can
the
be
head and
removed.
it is a
United
noun.
States can be removed. So presidents here the most important element. It is a noun. Therefore, what type of phrase do we have?
Noun.
Noun
Noun
phrase.
phrase.
Noun
We have a
phrase.
noun. Excellent. So therefore, we have a noun phrase. So presidents. So this word is a noun. Therefore, we have a noun phrase. Structure of this phrase.
Pre-modifier plus head plus post
Before the
modifier.
pre-modifier, you have the.
Determinant.
Determiner.
So determinative. So determinative. So structure. You have determinative plus pre-modifier. Do we have just one pre-modifier? Okay, for those who are absent, what's the meaning of pre-modifiers? So pre-modifiers, they come before the noun. So we have said that the head here is presidents. What do we have before the word presidents? We have truly and great. Truly and great describe the word presidents, and they come before the word presidents. So they modify the word presidents. They come before the word presidents, and they come before, therefore they are called pre-modifiers. So as pre-modifiers, what do we have? We have two pre-modifiers. The first one is
Truly.
Adverb.
Adverb.
truly is an adverb, and great
Adjective.
Adjective.
an adjective, since it is a description of the word president. Okay? So truly is an adverb. So you continue writing. So pre-modifiers, you have truly an adverb and great an adjective. Then you have plus what? Plus head noun, plus head noun,
Noun.
plus head noun, plus head noun. That's what? What do we have after
Fire.
of the United States here? It
Post
describes president.
modifiers.
It modifies. Yes, thank you. It modifies presidents. So here it is post modifier.
Post modifier.
What type of post modifier?
Of the United States.
Of the United States. Of the United States. What type of post modifier? Please circle of the United States. Please circle it. Of the United States. Please circle of the United States. The first element of this phrase is what?
Preposition. Preposition.
Yes, thank you. Excellent. So the first element of this phrase is of. Of is a preposition. And I told you last week, whenever you find the preposition at the beginning of a phrase, automatically you write
Prepositional phrase.
excellent. You write prepositional phrase automatically. Whenever you find the preposition at the beginning of the phrase, automatically you write prepositional phrase. So here I repeat, residents of the United States. You see, of the United States, it describes residence, and it starts with the word of. Of is a preposition, and therefore we have a prepositional phrase. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, it's grammatical function. Okay, it describes what? It describes what? The whole what is underlined. It comes after what? Does it come after a verb?
Yeah, before.
Look, what is highlighted here? Look here at the screen. Look at the screen. What is highlighted? It comes after
Of.
A
Of.
verb.
is it, does it come after a verb? The word
No,
just
no.
before
No,
what
no.
is highlighted?
Preposition.
Preposition of.
Yeah.
After the preposition, automatically you write. After the preposition, automatically you write complement of the preposition. Whenever you find a string of words after a preposition, automatically you write grammatical function complement of the preposition. If it comes after a preposition, so it must be complement of the preposition. It must be. So without thinking. So you have always to look at what comes before the underlined segment. So what is before is a preposition. Therefore, it is a complement of a preposition. Yes, a question? Do you have any questions?
No.
Any?
No.
No.
No, no.
No.
So if it comes after the preposition, it is complement of the preposition, always. And we are good. Don't worry, we are going to see this at the end of this term when dealing with the prepositional phrase on its own. Then you move. Walt Disney was the creator of Mickey Mouse. What is the most important element that cannot be removed? The creator of Mickey Mouse. Most important element.
Creator.
Creator.
Yes, most important element, thank you, is creator. For the others, they can be removed. So most important element is creator. It's word class. It is?
No.
It's a
Yeah.
noun. Therefore, what
But
type of phrase do we have?
Noun phrase.
No.
Noun
Noun
phrase.
phrase.
Noun phrase. Thank you. Excellent. Therefore, we have a noun phrase. Thank you. Excellent. We have a noun phrase. Its structure, you have
Determiner.
determinative.
Determinative.
Look. What's the difference between determiner and determinative? Determiner is a word class. Determinative is a function. Determinative is a function. Okay? So be careful between the two terms. They are not the same. So determiner is a word class. Determinative is a function. And last week I told you, if you remember very well, last week I told you that even those included here, pre-modifier and head, they are also called functions. Even the pre-modifiers, heads, post-modifiers, they are called functions. Adjective and noun, they are word classes or categories. Pre-modifier and heads, they are also functions. Okay? So here you have determinative for the structure. You have the plus, creator plus. Are you following?
Head noun.
Head noun, thank you.
Determiner
So
plus head. Noun
determinative,
plus prepositional phrase.
before
Post
it,
modifier.
this is what?
Plus post modifier prepositional phrase.
Excellent. So determinative plus head noun plus post modifier prepositional phrase. So determinative plus head noun plus post modifier prepositional phrase. Of Mickey Mouse. So of, this is a preposition, therefore we have prepositional phrase.
Miss, could you please repeat the structure of the sentence?
Okay, you have this is determinative, plus head noun, creator, plus what do you think? Plus
Pre-motivator.
post modifier. شوفوا اسمعوني. pre اسمها في جسمها. pre it comes before and post it comes after. pre comes before and post comes after. So of Mickey Mouse it comes after the head. So it is post modifier. It comes after, so it is post modifier. So determinative plus head noun plus post modifier prepositional phrase. Okay, it comes after what? Look at it, at this. The creator of the Mickey Mouse, it comes after
Was a verb.
was. Which verb? This is the verb to be. Do you remember last week? The verb to be, the verb to see, the verb to appear, the verb to look. They are linking verbs or copula. So after this, what do we have? He was happy. He was the first in the class. So what do we have after the verb to be? You have
Subject complement.
excellent subject complement. So here after the verb to be, after linking verbs like the verb to be, like the verb to seem, like the verb to look, like the verb to appear. So after these verbs, after these linking verbs, we have a subject complement. Excellent. Then the last one, no, not the last one, we still have others. The founder of his own movie production company. This is what? What is the most important element? That
The founder.
Founder, excellent. So founder is the most important element. It cannot be removed. What's the meaning of cannot be removed? I don't know. I'm not sure whether you get the point or not.
It's the head.
I'll explain this last week. So you can simply say and the founder and get rid of the rest. You can simply say and he was the founder and the sentence is grammatical and the meaning is there. But you cannot say and the of his own movie production company or and of his own movie production company. So these elements cannot be kept. The element that can be kept is the founder. So you can say Walt Disney was the founder and stop. So the founder is the element that cannot, I repeat, cannot be removed and therefore it is the head. Its word class it is
Noun.
Noun phrase.
it's a noun, therefore what type of phrase do we have?
Noun phrase.
Noun phrase. The structure here, if you have any questions, and if you shy, of course, you can text messages in the chat box. You can still text messages in the chat box if you have some questions. So here the structure of this noun phrase.
Determinative.
Determinative.
Plus
head noun.
Plus post modifier.
Plus post modifier.
A prepositional phrase.
Excellent. Plus post modifier prepositional phrase. So this is determinative. You simply write that as I have shown you here.
Yes.
You simply write that determinative plus head noun plus post modifier prepositional phrase. It's a grammatical function.
The head is the founder.
Head is founder, not the. Okay. The determinative, look, determinative plus head noun plus post modifier prepositional phrase. So the head is founder. So the head is the element that cannot be removed. Who was the founder? So founder cannot be removed. It is the most important element that carries core meaning.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other questions before moving? Okay. So we have said that founder is a noun. Therefore, the type of phrase is noun phrase. It's a grammatical function.
Subject complement.
Subject complement.
Excellent. Underline subject complement. Look here, please try to focus, try to look at the screen. So we have said that the creator of Mickey Mouse is a subject complement because it comes after the verb was. Okay? It comes after the verb was. And here, what do you notice? You have
And.
and. This is what? This is a coordinator.
Coordinator.
And I told you a few minutes ago that and is used to relate things of the same type. So this is a noun phrase, and this is a noun phrase. The same structure. You see, the creator of the Mickey Mouse, the founder of his own movie production company, the same. It's a noun phrase, the same structure, and the same function. So you see,
So
and
both
here
are
is used.
complements.
Yes. So since this one is subject complement, the second one should be a subject complement. So you see, and here is used in order to relate two things of the same type, two noun phrases of the same function, subject complement, subject complement. Is the point clear?
Yes.
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 So and the coordinators and or but are used in order to relate two things of the same type, same phrase, same function. Okay, then move. Because he had no good ideas. He had no good ideas. No good ideas.
Founder is ideas.
Okay, the most important element is ideas.
Ideas.
Yes, thank you. Excellent. Ideas. Word class. It is.
Noun.
The word is a noun. Therefore, what type of phrase you have?
Noun phrase.
Noun phrase. Therefore, it is a noun phrase. Thank you.
Do we know the noun, the type phrase via the head?
Yes, thank you. Via the head. So the head is the most important element. First thing to do here is to identify the head. After identifying the head, you are going to identify its word class. When you identify the word class, you are going to identify the type of phrase. So an example here, no good ideas. So we have said he had ideas. You can say that he had ideas. So ideas is the most important element. Can you say he had goods? Not
No.
good. He had good.
No.
He had good.
Yes,
Can you
you
say
can.
he had good? Listen, listen, please. Okay, listen, please. I'm going to repeat for the last time how to identify the head. The head is the most important element that cannot be removed. Can we say he had no and stop?
No.
No.
No, this is ungrammatical. So no is not the head. Can we say he had good?
Nope.
No.
No.
Can we say he had good?
No.
No.
No, we cannot. So good is not the head. Can we say he had ideas?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, the sentence is grammatical. So ideas is the most important element that cannot be removed. So it is the head. Ideas is the head. Let's identify
Okay,
its
thank you.
word class. Word class. Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective? Is it an adverb? What do you think?
Noun.
No.
It's a noun. Therefore, this phrase is a noun phrase. The head of a noun phrase is a noun. The head of a verb phrase is a verb. The head of an adjective phrase is an adjective. The head of an adverb phrase is an adverb, and the head of a prepositional phrase is a preposition. So here in this case, it is a noun phrase.
Noun phrase.
Structure,
Yes.
structure,
Noun
yes,
phrase.
structure.
Determinative.
Determinative. It's not a
No.
determinative.
It's
Yes,
not.
no, here, yes,
There is no
and we
determinant.
are going to see this hopefully next week. It's a negative determiner. Word class negative.
Determiner, pre-modifier, plus head.
Okay, wait.
Negative.
If you are confused in the exam, if you are confused and you find difficult words, you can simply replace no by the. Can we say the good ideas?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So here it is also a determinative. So both of them are determinatives. So
Okay.
in case you are confused in the exam, you try to replace by the. And I'm sure you are going to come across difficult cases in the exam. So in case you are confused, you try to replace by another word, by another determiner which you know. So let's replace by another word. We can say the good ideas. So the can be or can take the position of no. So both of them are determinative. So determinatives. So structure you have NP, determinative plus what?
Pre-modifier.
Pre-modifier adjective
Adjective plus head noun.
Head.
plus
No.
head noun. Plus head noun. Please, very quickly, because I can't come back to this next week. He had what?
No good ideas.
Yes, he had what? So grammatical function?
Object.
Direct object.
Yes, direct object. So if you see, I have just written for you this. So if you ask the what question, this should be a direct object. What question? This is a direct object.
Miss,
Okay?
could you please repeat the structure again quickly?
The
Determiner
structure
plus.
you have a determinative plus pre-modifier adjective plus head noun.
No. Okay. Thank you.
Next one, of the light bulb and the phonograph. Of the light bulb and the phonograph. The first element in this phrase is what?
Of the preposition.
Preposition.
Preposition. Therefore, what type of phrase? Automatically.
Prepositional phrase.
Prepositional phrase. So the first word is a preposition. Therefore, automatically it's a prepositional phrase. It's a structure. It's a structure. Okay. Head plus complement. A structure. Prepositional phrase. Head preposition. Plus complement. Coordinated. Okay, so this is the structure of the prepositional phrase. Of the light bulb and the phonograph, so we have said it's a prepositional phrase. The first element is a preposition. So, structure of prepositional phrase, this is to be learned by heart. Whenever you find the prepositional phrase structure, head plus complement. This is to be learned by heart. Structure of prepositional phrase, head plus complement. The head of a prepositional phrase is a preposition. So, of is the head of this prepositional phrase, and then the complement is the rest. The light bulb and the phonograph, the rest here is a complement. And here we have the light bulb, this is a noun phrase. You have and, coordinator, and then you have the phonograph, another noun phrase. So here we have two coordinated noun phrases as complements. Do you have any questions here?
No.
For the structure, the head of a prepositional phrase is a preposition. So head is preposition of, then the rest here is a complement. The rest you have the light bulb, this is noun phrase. You have and, the coordinator, the phonograph, this is another noun phrase. So here you have two coordinated noun phrases. Grammatical function, it comes after what?
Preposition. So it's complement of the preposition.
Does it come after the preposition?
The inventor. The
No.
inventor.
After
It's a noun.
So if it comes after the preposition, it is complement of the preposition. No, it comes after what? It comes
The
after the word.
After noun.
After the noun inventor. Thank you.
After noun.
It comes after the noun inventor. So it is what? It is a description.
Object. Description.
No, direct object. You are going to ask a question what?
Ask what? Yes.
And look, the direct object comes after a verb. Here it comes after the noun. It is a description of the noun. It modifies the noun. Inventor of what? So this is a description of the noun. Therefore, it is
direct object.
شوفوا direct object عمرها ما تجينا بعد النون. Direct object.
Indirect object is
He teaches a grammar course. He teaches a verb. What? A grammar course. They did not enjoy. What? Enjoy is a verb. Then you have immediate success. Okay? Look here. It is a description of the noun. And it comes after the noun. It modifies the noun, inventor. Sorry?
Direct object.
Indirect object is the receiver of something. I give the book to Mary. I give the book to Mary. Of the light bulb, does it receive something here?
No.
No. So it is a description of inventor, therefore it is post modifier of inventor. It comes after the noun inventor, and it is a description of the word inventor, therefore it is a post modifier of the word inventor. So function here, Post modifier of the head noun inventor. I told you that post modifiers, heads, pre-modifiers, and complements can also be functions. So post modifier of the head noun inventor. Post modifier of the head noun inventor. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next example, by his teachers. He was believed by his teachers.
Preposition by.
By, thank you, preposition, excellent. So what type of phrase?
Prepositional phrase.
Prepositional phrase.
Excellent, prepositional phrase. Structure you have? Structure you have?
Structure, head plus complement.
Yes, head plus complement, and the complement here is a noun phrase. Head plus complement, so head plus complement, the complement is a noun phrase. So head plus complement between parentheses, a noun phrase. Its function, is it optional? Can we say was believed to be too stupid to learn?
Yes. You can
Yes,
remove
it
it.
is optional. So here it is.
Passive form.
It is optional. So here, optional elements, what do we call them?
Modify.
No, the post modifier is not optional. شوف بس ماني كيف تقول انت post modifier. Look, post modifier you have to look. If you are you following the screen? So look, the inventor here, it comes before of the light bulb. So you say of the light bulb is post modifier. But here by his teachers, what do we have? You have a verb, so it cannot be post modifier. If you say post modifier, you must look for a noun before it. So you have a verb, so it can never be a post modifier. We have said it is optional.
Maybe adverb.
Adverbial. So
Adverbial.
adjunctive adverbial. So we can say was believed to be too stupid to learn. Was believed to be too stupid to learn. So by his teachers can be removed. So here it is an adverbial and it is called adjunctive adverbial. Why adjunctive? So here
In general.
the adjunctive.
Agentive.
Adjunctive adverbial. Here we find it especially in passive sentences. The apple was eaten by Tom. So by Tom here is an agentive adverbial. So by Tom here is an agentive adverbial. You see that? What's the meaning of agentive? Agentive, agent, the doer of the action. Was eaten by Tom. So by Tom is the doer of the action, and here by Tom is optional. Because we can simply say the apple was eaten and stop. The apple was eaten and the meaning is there. So this is an agentive adverbial and it is optional. The same case was believed to be too stupid to learn. So by his teachers was believed by whom? Who is the one to believe? The one to believe. So teachers are the ones to believe. So agentive adverbial. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Then too stupid to learn. Too stupid to learn. What is the most important element?
Learn.
Learn.
To be learned. He was believed. Look, he was believed by his teachers to be learned or to be to learn, or he was believed by his teachers to be stupid. Yes, the most important element is stupid. So the head is stupid. Word the class of stupid.
Verb. Adjective.
Adjective. So yes, stupid is an adjective. Therefore, what type of phrase this is? What type of phrase?
Adjective phrase.
Adjective phrase.
This is an adjective phrase. Thank you. It's a structure. So structure.
To determine determinative. No, it's not.
We find the determinative only in the noun phrase.
So it's
Can you
pre-modifier.
Okay,
It's a pre-modifier.
Replacement test. We replace to by very. Yes or
Very.
no?
It's an adverb, I think.
Excellent. This is an adverb. So you have a pre-modifier, adverb, Yes, it is replaced by verb. So replaced by verb. So here it's an adverb. Plus stupid
Head.
head adjective.
Plus post modifier.
Plus complement.
Complement.
It's complement. Plus complement.
Why
is-
complement?
Okay, please a few minutes. I'm going to come back to this. The type of complement to learn. This is what? To
To
learn.
learn.
Verb.
This is a verb. What do we call it? We call it. Do you remember the previous task? The previous task, sorry, a verb in order to identify a clause. So here we have to learn. This is what is it a phrase or a clause? A verb. So here we have
Non-infinitive verb.
non-finite clause. Thank you. Non-finite.
Non-finite
You can say also
clause.
non-finite to infinitive clause. Non-finite to infinitive clause. Okay, thank you. Non-finite to infinitive clause. Okay, why complement? Be careful. So in the exam, you will be also penalized for this, for the prepositional phrase and the adjective phrase. Prepositional phrase and adjective phrase always use complements. Always use complements and not post modifiers. It is out of the scope of the present course to explain the difference. Of course, there is a difference between complements and post modifiers. Maybe next year, if you are going to study syntax expert theory, the teacher is going to explain for you the difference between complements and post modifiers. For the present moment, I cannot confuse you. So yeah, let's just memorize them. For the prepositional phrases and adjective phrases, for prepositional phrases and adjective phrases, you have complements. For adverb phrases, you have and the noun phrases, you have post modifiers. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So you have to know them. You have complements and not post modifiers. Then, badly in almost all of his high school courses. Look here, it can be understood in two different ways. We can understand badly on its own. This is possible. We can have badly on its own, and in almost all of his high school courses on its own. They are separate from each other. So badly, as one word.
Adverb.
No, yes, adverb. This is word class. Yes.
The head.
Yes. So type of phrase. This is
Adverbial. Adverbial phrase.
I think this interpretation is more plausible. I think this interpretation is more plausible. If you take badly on its own and in almost all of his high school courses on its own. Okay, so we are going to separate them. So badly here, word the class you have said is an adverb. Therefore, what type of phrase? Adverb. Yes, adverb phrase, not adverbial, please. Adverb phrase. Type of phrase, adverb phrase. Not adverbial. Type of phrase, adverb phrase. It's a structure. It is made up only of one word. Therefore, it should be
Post modifier.
no. It is made up of just one word. It must be automatically the head. The head. If
The
you
head.
have a phrase made up of one word, automatically it is the head because we have said that the head is the most important element. So type of phrase, adverb phrase, structure, adverb phrase equals the head. Yes, function. How badly? So here it is an adverbial of. You ask the how question. How? So
Of
here it
manner.
is.
Of manner.
Of manner.
In almost all of these high school courses, in, this is what?
Prepositional. Preposition.
Prepositional phrase. It's a structure. Prepositional phrase. It's structure.
Post modifier. لا مش complement.
What is the head? Always شوفوا تدخلوا phrase structure, always you have to mention, there is no way you have to mention the head. Preposition or phrase, head plus complement. Head plus complement. The complement here is a noun of phrase. You have courses. Head plus complement, noun of phrase. So complement, head plus complement. The complement is a noun of phrase. Its grammatical function. Grammatical function.
Miss, can you repeat the structure, please?
Structure prepositional phrase equals head plus complement. Head plus complement. The complement is a noun phrase. Head plus complement. The complement is a noun phrase. Its grammatical function. Its grammatical function. If you ask where.
Adverbial of time.
Where, not when. Where.
Adverbial play,
Of
place.
place. Of
Place.
place.
Adverbial of place.
Toast.
Okay, still with this example, look, so it can be understood as two separate things, badly on its own and in almost all of his high school courses on its own. But there is another interpretation, and maybe my colleagues will opt for this one or the other. I'm going to give you both interpretations. So this is the first interpretation. Second interpretation, we can interpret the whole. Badly in almost all of his high school courses, the whole as one string. I can't highlight, delete, and then. So what do you think here? If you are going to highlight the whole. What do you think? The whole, what is highlighted here? Okay, I'm going to time. What do you think here? So are going to consider the whole badly in almost all of his high school courses. Please hurry up because I need to leave. So this is what? So here, yes, this is an adverb phrase. So in this case, this is an adverb phrase because the head here will be badly. So badly will be the head. So here type of phrase, adverb phrase. Its structure will be head
Plus complement.
No. Adverb phrase head plus post modifier.
Oh.
So here in this case, if we take the whole adverb phrase equals head adverb plus post modifier. Post modifier here. Post modifier starts with the preposition in almost. So here, what type of post modifier it is? It starts with the preposition. Therefore, it is.
Prepositional phrase.
And prepositional phrase. So this is structure and function. How? You will ask the question how. Performed how?
Adverbial.
Adverbial.
Adverbial of manner. So it can be understood in both ways. So either badly on its own and the rest on its own, or badly in what? Badly in what? Badly in what? Badly in almost all of his high school courses. So in this way, we can understand it as a whole. Badly in what? So it can be understood as a whole. The last one before we leave. And failed his first college entrance exam. What is the most important element?
Exam.
Exam. And failed his exam. So exam is a noun. Therefore, what type of phrase?
Noun phrase.
Noun phrase. Okay, so it is a noun phrase. What do we have for structure? His is what? What about his? Replace his by another word. We can say his or the first college entrance exam. Determinative plus
adjective.
Okay, for first, I'm going to say this next week. So here it's also determinative, numeral, although for some teachers we can also accept adjective. But I prefer it is still determinative. So his first determinatives. Then you have
College entrance.
college entrance. You have college entrance. These are two pre-modifiers. Two nouns which are pre-modifiers. Okay, for the word first, don't worry. I'm going to come back to this next week. We have this next week, and we are going to see that it is actually a determiner. We are going to see this next week. So we are going just here to classify it as determinative. So his first. Then you have college entrance, pre-modifiers, nouns, and then exam. This is the head. Okay, for activities 5 and 6, these are taken from last year's exam. And I can't do this because I need to move next week to the next lecture. So please, you can do it, and send me your works so that I can correct them. So these are examples from last year's exams. So please, you have to make some effort and to work on them.
Okay.
Miss, I have a question.
Very important. Yes.
We forgot the function.
The grammatical function, is it a complement?
Grammatical function and failed what?
Object.
Direct object.
Direct object.
Direct object. Yes, thank you. Yes, the function of badly, adverbial of manner. Adverbial of manner. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
failed what? Failed what? I repeat, failed what? Failed what? His first college entrance exam. You asked the question what? So his first college entrance exam. This is a direct object. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you try to do activities 5 and 6. You can give me your works, or maybe at the end of the term, I'm going to come back to these two activities for revision. Okay. Do you have any questions?
Okay.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Although I know that the face-to-face communication is not like online communication, but thank you anyway for your efforts and your interaction, and see you next week. Okay, see you next week. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.